So there's definitely a few reasons why your first bike probably shouldn't be a carbon bike. And I'm going to explain those reasons, or the reasons that I've kind of experienced considering my first bike was a carbon bike. Well, it still is a carbon bike. This is my bike. It is a 2015 Scott team issue that has Shimano Di2, at least I think that's what you call it, carbon wheels, and overall I think the bike weighs just over 7 kilos. It is a very, very nice bike, and there is only really one reason why I have that bike. It was a gift. Now, if you actually have a look at the location of this video, you'll see that it is in the Netherlands, but I'm not Dutch. I don't know if you can tell what my accent is, but I'm actually from Scotland. And when I moved from Scotland to the Netherlands, my parents got me a gift, and this gift was the bike. Now, it is a very, very nice gift. In fact, I think it is hands down the best gift I've ever gotten. Carbon bikes are very expensive. Now, carbon bikes with Di2, so electric shifters, are even expensiver. So if you're just starting out cycling or road biking and you've never road biked before or never cycled on the road before on a road bike, then there's a very good chance that you might fall or crash or damage the bike. There's a good chance you'll damage yourself, but when you're dealing with bikes that are worth literally thousands of euros or pounds or dollars, yeah, you kind of start to worry more about the bike than you do about yourself, to within reason. So when I first got this bike, the first few months I was just terrified of crashing and falling off, and I'm not exactly that light. I mean, the bike weighs 7 kilos, but I weigh like 80 kilos. So when you think about it like that, I literally weigh more than 10 times what that bike weighs. Which brings me to my next point, which has to do with power to weight. And if you're a newbie cyclist, power to weight isn't really that important unless you are from the get-go obsessed about stats and wattage and power output. But for most newbie cyclists, it's just more of a case of getting out on the bike, maybe losing a bit of weight, getting fitter, having fun with friends. You can spend €1,000 on getting a bike that weighs 10 kilos, or you can spend €5,000 on a bike that weighs 7 kilos. Whereas, if you weighed 80 kilos and lost 3 kilos, but kept the same power to weight ratio, you would probably have the same kind of effect. Now, that is not scientific in the slightest, but that's just a kind of point I'm trying to make. When you're starting out, you don't really want to obsess about like how many grams or how aerodynamic your shoes are. Now, if you've been riding for a while and you are enjoying it and you're getting out regularly, then maybe it is time to invest in a carbon bike, because they are very nice and it does feel nice to have electric shifters. I mean, you just hear it go zzz, zzz, zzz. It is a nice feeling. Now, yes, I am very lucky for the situation that I was in and the fact that I didn't actually have to pay for the bike that I have. And I do count myself very lucky about that. And I love my bike and I ride my bike quite a lot. But a lot of the stuff on it and the fact that it's carbon isn't really necessary. In fact, I am quite a clumsy person. So for the fact that my bike is still like in the shape of a bike is quite impressive for me. So if you are a newbie cyclist and you are contemplating getting a carbon bike as your first bike, then take it from my point of view, if you don't have the money to spend like 3,000, 4,000 on a bike and you don't want to really have to worry about your bike, just get a cheaper bike and then maybe gradually over time, just upgrade it. If you know you're going to be riding like 3 or 4 times a week, then yeah, it might be a good investment for you to get a nicer bike in the future. But if you're just starting out, you don't really know if you like it, then I really wouldn't recommend it. So I do hope you found these points helpful. If you do have any extra points that you'd like to add on, then please comment them down below. Say bye to my bike.